I think one of the biggest differences between the old NCI and the current new program is the fact that this program is very coach driven and it's also very interactive. The old program was assignment driven and that there was a lot more of an interaction between the instructor, the coach, and perhaps your mentor coach, and there might be some intimidation there depending on the level of your mentor coach, whereas now I feel that the coaches are all really encouraged to be part of this community. Having a mentor allows you to have that person to support you without being in your sport and overseeing every move that you make, just that like an extra safety net. I think one of the big differences is how much deeper you are asking the coaches to go at this point. There's a lot more information being asked about the type of coach they are, the leader that they are, why they do what they do, the care of the athletes. It's really athlete-centered. And I think that one of the other big differences is that in the old structure of the NCI, it was very sport specific, whereas I feel like you really have a great multi-sport model here where coaches can gain insights from other coaches, other mentors, other disciplines, and really incorporate new ideas into their own way of coaching. So in the NCI, we had a workbook and we completed that workbook, handed it in, and we're given a grade, a check mark, and moving forward. Whereas now the coaches are creating portfolios, which are living working documents, which allow them to evolve as they are coaching. So they use what they find at this point in their career and they tweak it and keep continually improving it, and they have a place in which to write down those changes and to update those changes so that they can constantly be reflecting back on that. So I feel like this is a huge push to have these coaches continually evolve, so that they're never at a set point. They're always pushing the boundaries to see where they can go. I think it's been really interesting to see the coaches within my pod have all contributed work, and depending on their experience level is how much they've been able to contribute. So if they've been coaching for only 1 year, they've got a different amount of experience from which to draw from versus somebody who's been coaching for 10 to 15 or more years. The other thing that I see that's really different is because it's not a specific assignment where it's a fill in the blank, they're having to ask themselves those more difficult questions, and they're having to dig a little bit deeper in terms of how do I approach my sport, not only as a coach, but as a human, and in terms of how can I get the best out of myself in every single thing that I do, which is different than just taking it strictly from a sport perspective. I see that there's a lot of diversification and that we're really trying to meet the coaches and the athletes where they are now and help them build bridges to keep pushing their athletes, and maybe that means that they're helping their athletes make that next team and passing those athletes to that next coach, but that they are a really integral part in that process. I'd say that the ACD is an amazing evolution of what the NCI was. It's everything that it had before, but now it has so much more in that it allows the coaches to push themselves in a much further direction than just within the task. They're allowed and encouraged to press outside those boundaries and keep asking the questions. They're never done. There's not a ceiling that you can achieve. It's an open air, so they keep going. That's a big difference.